fact, if I know they like see your face, your face, make head like old man. You don't even know which one you be, whether not young or old. I know they like you, they angry. All the money we have spent to come out you from that dirty jail.
But I'm sorry. You did not contribute any funding to ensure my release.
Are you listening to this idiot? You don't hear this idiot waiting the yarn. He decrease all the money we have spent. Ask anybody, I will tell you. If not be me, you could smell rotted die for there. Who would have spent all the money on you if not be said at me?
I know who facilitated my release. I know the brains behind the amnesty.
I, Braye Pocket, I'm the brain behind everything that's happening.
Braye, please.
You hear me too?
Please, Braye.
Not me!
I have not called this meeting for us to argue. Argument can get us nowhere. I was in the same detention room with Don Braye, and I have come to realize that he is the true face of this struggle. You have always seen him as an enemy, but I am telling you authoritatively today that Braye is the best friend you could ever get.
It make me go rotty for where you found the show come, yeah. In fact, for today's end, I'm like saying inside boys quarter, this guy go sleep. Make I tell you something. If you want use Connie confuse me, make me I listen to all this much advertised Amnesty nonsense you they carry yourself put for gutter.
That is not nonsense. No be nonsense. This president means well for our people. The best thing we can do is to support the noble ideas. Don Braye and his colleagues are just part of us. I mean, we must not be at war. Shoo, Pere, you shop winch.
If you ask me, I would say this meeting is very unnecessary because the president has invited us to wine and dine with him. I see it as a perfect opportunity. It only tells me how much he's interested in a dialogue process. And that is important. I think we go.
Tekena, keep quiet.
Why? Because I'm speaking my mind?
Because you're talking nonsense and you're beginning to provoke me. I mean, why would you go to the capital city and party with a man that is destroying our land? And what kind of signal are you sending to other people?
Why? He's not destroying our land. This president is a good president. If you tell me his predecessors destroyed the land, I might just say yes. He's a good man. He's only giving us the chance to dine with him, for us to tell him our problems. That's it. A dialogue process. I think we should go.
And I insist we're not going. I insist we're not going because that man lives in the state house that was built with the money they stole from our land. His government is being run with the money they stole from our land as well. Listen, the truth of the matter is we are the landlords. We are not moving. If he wants to see us, he should come. We're not going.
Okay, listen, Mofe. Tekena. I don't think we should argue about this. Okay? As for me, I have no interest in going to the capital city to wine and dine with the president or anybody representing this government. Yeah? We must remember that the government is still our potential enemy. They have made promises upon promises, promises of goodwill, promises of development. We haven't seen anything yet. Nothing.
Ross, no verse. I still think we should go.
Oh, Tekena, Ross, make you talk to her. Tekena, they provoke me. And they tell you, and they watch you since they provoke me. Ross, make you talk to her, make you want to move. Make you want to move.
The information is on what that is that the president is planning to drop all his kitchen cabinets. Have you heard that?
I'm sorry, Mr. Jones, but I've not called you here for us to discuss Mr. President or what he is planning to do. I called you here because I want us to discuss you.
I don't understand what that means.
There is a classified security report now before the president that suggests that you have been partnering with militants.
You're not serious, are you?
I am very, very serious. The president himself was stunned to hear that you had meeting with militants and you didn't report to him. I was trying to explain to him that your enemies are at work, and he practically asked me to leave his office. He was very angry. He didn't believe me. And I called you here to give you this advice. You have to be very, very careful. As we speak, the presidency is very hot. You work here, you know what I am saying. And anybody who hopes to survive this turbulent period must tread with caution, must be very careful.
What a life. The meeting I held with militants was in the interest of the government.
Do not even accept that you had any meeting at all. How can you accept you had meeting with militants? The mere fact that the meeting was not officially reported to Mr. President has made it an illegal meeting. And now, you have been categorized as one of the people that are doing everything possible to sabotage, to undermine the efforts of this government. I called you here to give you this advice. You must be very, very careful. And listen to me, Mr. Jones. This meeting between you and I is very confidential. Don't go outside there to say that I called you or that I told you anything. Don't quote me anyway. But you have to be very, very careful.
This is serious.
More than serious. It's extremely serious.
The dinner with Mr. President is fast approaching. And I have not heard from you guys.
Okay. Myself, I just confirm, say, Braye Silva say no the show. You know one meet any president.
But why? The president will see it as an act of insubordination if you guys fail to honor the invitation.
For let me learn now. Okay, which one you did? You say Braye Silva, they just pass me. Who you be? That one they make not fear. Here and the boys, they loyal to me. If you enter river, ask anybody who is for them. If you do anything, for me go take the meeting with the president. You don't understand?
I am sorry. The president has a security report on the activities of Braye Silva and his members. It will be a wonderful event if he's not there.
Okay, cool down. You no be task force commandant. You are the eyes of the president. Have you?
Yes, you're correct. He calls me regularly.
Good. You know it's good to make you call out. Tell us the original bad boy with the craze past democracy for this land we warriors full and so. Na pere pocket. You be done by yourself. You and the boys, when they see me, they hide. Make you not fear them. Make a know say na me is supposed to fear. Then you use your office, carry me gun.
But what you are asking me to do is an act of deceiving the commander-in-chief. It is tantamount to treason.
Which one is the, no the reason now, so. Colonel, you know say, sometimes you will do away with all this code of conduct where military they use. We the river now, we know the code. You go decode down. Use your discretion now. You don't know who they are. I can tell you, now maybe the head of all the racketeering and importation and exploitation of illegal crude oil for this land, this river where we did. See some cabals with the government, that may make them multi-millionaires. Forget that they like this. It make you the jolly go. Yeah, I will move the commode, you will jolly pass all of them. Just do it, me I tell you. Just make sure say the meeting take place. Me, I did there, you did there. After you know the priest, he called them. We are go see them for river. My gunboats did the wait. The guy is.
Beginning to get on my nerves. When did they do you? Cannot be that. I swear to God, I go hit you at Suno.
You know they make sense to me at all. You know they make sense at all.
Oh boy. Now me they talk to like that. Make I tell you something. Don't Braye and the boys don't they go anything and I mean they charge.
The right thing to do be that. We know they go to any dinner with any president. What it be that? You go sabotage the struggle now. You don't understand that kind of thing. You go sabotage the struggle.
My friend, please, make I just yarn you as it be, and you may you reason that well.
As I did, me they go see President chop belle food. If you like, you come. If you like, no come. Me they tell you.
Day when me go catch you with any of them Braye or a boss they work anyhow for river. Me go kill you myself. Make you reason out so. See. You are not
been watching you for some time now. And I know there is something you're not just telling me.
The guy who saved my life. The one that you and my mother term as a militant and a criminal. He's none of those.
You at it again. How many times are we going to talk about this? A man who paraded himself as a police officer and lured you to the car where you got knocked off. Aisha, come on. Why would you think he's not a criminal?
Felicia, he is just a victim of bad government policies. Yes. Whenever I remember him, I feel like I'm indebted to him. I owe him something. I don't know what, but I
do not want to be right on this. Don't tell me you're beginning to develop feelings for a militant?
No. Seriously, honestly, sincerely, no. No. Felicia, I interacted with this guy. I spoke with him. He is a graduate. He sounds to me like somebody who has brains. He just needs help. Help to get him out of that mess of always opposing all government policies. Whenever I think of him, I remember the song that says, show a little kindness. He deserves it.
Should I tell you the truth? You're just talking rubbish. And this is one thing you must not let your mom hear about. Aisha, how can you think of showing kindness to the very criminal that kidnapped you? The very criminal that forced your mother to give documents and made the president place her on suspension? Aisha, why are you thinking they're impossible? Why? Think!
You're right. I didn't think. I mean, I should have realized that both of us never think alike. Sorry to have bothered you.
You know what, Mufe? I'm not sure, and I still cannot stick my head on this, but I don't trust IKENNA anymore.
Is it because of what I told you on how he betrayed us and released the daughter of the minister that we wanted to use as a bail to secure your freedom?
Well, not exactly. I've already spoken with him and I'm satisfied with the explanation he gave.
So why are you complaining, Braye?
Don't you get it, Mufe? Before Braye started out to form his own group, he went exactly this way. He was always coming up with extreme ideas that were inimical to the tenets of the struggle. Look, I'm afraid IKENNA may go the same way.
Are you suspecting he may break away from us?
Well, he doesn't have the wherewithal to do that. He may not even get any followers. I'm just worried, that's all.
Well, you know what, Braye? The best thing to do is to allow IKENNA fire the first salvo. We can always contain him. We will contain him. We can always contain him.
It's quite unfortunate, Dr. Bakare. I don't want to discuss Alhaji Gambo any further. I trusted the man. He betrayed my trust.
Your Excellency, you should have allowed me to land. You're the president. It is clearly known that no one can impose anything on you. Your decision or words are final. But please, hear me out.
Dr. Bakare, what you are telling me, it's obvious, is to allow Alhaji Gambo to go free. No, that's impossible. I've told you, I am not the one that's holding him. He's been held by the law of the land.
He did what he did just simply for the interest of his business. He had no plans in mind to undermine your government.
A business interest? Dr. Bakare, do you know what he did? Alhaji Usman Gambo connived with militants to blow up the refinery. Now, do you know why? His reasons are to get his refinery in Sao Tome and South Africa busy. Now, I believe that amounts to economic sabotage.
Your Excellency, your judgment is based on what others said.
No, that is far from the truth. My judgment is based on the intelligence report I received from the first headquarters. He has to face the law.
I had interacted with him one-on-one, and he told me that some people are out there to tarnish his image, to run down his integrity. And I think you should listen to him as an old friend.
I'm sorry, Dr. Bakare. There is no need to flog the dead horse. No, I am the president and the head of the executive arm of the government. I will allow the judiciary to do its job. Please, tell him to brief his lawyers and they can take his case to the court floors. And please, tell him I as the president of this country, I am a strong believer and supporter of the theory of the separation of law and power.
I wonder what you want to talk to me about. Is it the same thing Juliet spoke to me about, that Braye doesn't trust me anymore? Is that it?
Oh, come on. No. I just want us to talk like brothers.
Okay. I'm listening.
Vicker, I'm thinking you should quit this struggle and relocate, okay? Because you made first class in public administration, and it's only natural that you should be in government.
Are you under the impression that people in this struggle are not learned?
Oh, that is far from it. I know they are all learned, okay? But it's you I'm bothered about. I'm bothered because we are brothers. Your progress still remains my progress. Tekena, quit the struggle, relocate and make use of your certificate. See, some of the prison officials that picked interest in me because of my age opened my eyes to some truth. Tekena, this thing we call struggle is just a mere waste of time.
I take it you don't know what you're talking about. I think you're too young to understand it. Hello?
I'm disappointed in you.
Who's this, please?
Why haven't you called me since?
Is this Aisha?
Yes, this is Aisha. So tell me, why haven't you called me?
I was waiting for your call first.
That's so ungentlemanly, Tekena. Aren't you supposed to be the one to call the lady?
Well, I understand that, and I'm sorry. The thing is, I had some issues with my colleagues. They seized my phone, they smashed it, and I lost all the numbers. That's why I said I was hoping that you would call first.
Okay. Well, have you settled your rift with them now?
Yes, I have. And I was really hoping that you would surface one of these days so I can thank you for the good job you did getting my brother out.
Well, how did you know I did it?
It had to be you. I mean, you were the only one who could have done it. Nobody else could have.
Well, how is your brother?
He's fine. He's fine, actually. He's here with me right now.
Say me hi to him. I'll probably call you back. I will call you back.
Okay, I will. Thank you. Bye.
Who was that?
None of your business who it was.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to intrude. But I just hope you were not calling that militant. Because I will not let you do such nonsense here.
Oh, you listen, Felicia. This is my mother's house. My house. And that means if you want to give others, you are going to have to go back to your house to give others. It's none of your business whose call I pick, who I speak to, or when I speak to that person. I repeat, this is my mother's house. Unarguably, my house.
So, who was that?
Just a friend I met. She's the one who actually helped to get me out of prison. You know, she said hello to you.
Okay. How old is she?
How old is she? Must you know everything? Are you okay? I'm beginning to think, are you older or younger than I am?
Tekena, I think what you should do now is to get someone to get married to. Because as far as I'm concerned, you need a wife.
I think there's something wrong with your brain. I'm beginning to think you're not too straight.
Come on, Tekena, it's not like that. It's just that I'm concerned.
No, I'm thinking there's something wrong with you. Because 1 minute I should give up the struggle, something that I've lived for, and I should go and find a job in the government and use my certificate. Next minute I should marry a lady that I don't even know. Are you okay? I wonder what you're going to be asking me to do next. I don't think you're very correct. Go and find something and eat. Maybe you start thinking straight.
I mean, it's all good. See you later.
Do you think it is safe for you to come here? They might tell the president, who will also find you a saboteur.
Alhaji, if the president will have to descend on me because I visited you in your incarceration, then he can go ahead and do his worst. I owe everything to you. I am in this government because of you. You brought me into this government and I cannot afford to turn my back on you now that you need me the most. I won't do anything like that.
That is heartwarming. Thank you. How is Mrs. Rahim faring?
The president is planning to recall her.
What? I don't understand. Recall her from where?
She was suspended when the president realized that she had actually wanted to give out classified information to militants. She was suspended from the cabinet.
Then why would he want to recall her?
The president has the power to hire and to fire. And you know how obsessed he is with that power. I don't know his reasons, but he is planning to recall Mrs. Rahim. I don't know his reasons.
Now tell me, how far have you gone with our men from Portugal?
They say that they have a vessel that can take maximum 500,000 barrels in one voyage.
Good.
And they have offered to pay $10 million for a load. No, but I told them that we prefer to sell our crude per barrel.
Good.
So we are still negotiating, we are still talking. Nothing concluded.
Good. I trust your competence. Just keep me posted.
What do you want? What do you want?
You're crying. You're crying because you're not a true warrior. Listen. True warriors do not cry.
If you don't have anything to say, don't say anything.
Tekena, it is now obvious that you want to break away from the group. And let me tell you something. I am here to warn you. If you try that, I am going to kill you myself. And I mean it.
I have a reason to be in this struggle. I lost my parents, my mother, my father, my sister. And you don't have a reason. You're nothing but a mere warmonger, a pitiful one. That's what you are. Now, if you threaten me one more time, I will kill you.
Keep the gun down, Tekena. Tekena, listen. You are nothing without me. And you cannot afford to kill me. And I mean it.
Your words are nothing but threats. You just talk. But if you threaten me one more time, I will kill you myself.
IKENNA. I want you to read my lips. All of us in this struggle are like brothers. You hear me? And may God forbid it that I lead any one of you astray.
Bros, no verse, but why are you saying this?
I'm saying this because everybody in this camp now thinks that you are a sellout. You hear me? And I'm beginning to be uncomfortable with that notion.
Bros, I am not a sellout. I can never be a sellout. God forbid, that's impossible. I did the right thing. They're only calling me names because I killed Lionel and I released the girl. And that was the right thing to do at the right time. If I didn't kill Lionel, he would have killed the girl and that would have been our end. I did the right thing.
Bros, they are showing it.
Showing what?
They are showing parents some of his boys on the TV now. The president is giving them amnesty certificate.
Oh, is this still on?
It is.
Is this still on?
Now.
Why are we bothering now? Go. Get out. No, bros, that imbecile that did not contribute anything to this struggle is out there taking glory in a national program. Bros, I dey provoke. Bros, me I dey vex. What would they do here? I dey vex.
Why they provoke?
Why no provoke?
Why you for provoke?
Why no provoke?
It was an open invitation.
So go see.
Why didn't you go?
Go do it. Go see.
The president invited us.
Go see.
I proposed. I said, let's go. You said no. Why you for provoke?
Hey, listen, brothers. Listen to me. I said this before. All of us in this struggle are like brothers. And we must begin to think as one. Yeah? Forget about whatever charade happened at the capital city this evening. Forget it. Okay? We are the real fighters for the emancipation of our people. And from now on, we will allow posterity to judge us. Braye and his boys have decided to be stooges in the hands of our oppressors. Okay, let them go. From now on, let future developments be our judge. Who called you just now?
A friend.
Who called you just now?
A friend. I don't want to pick it now.
Look, listen, let me tell you. You look at me when I'm talking to you. IKENNA, don't make the mistake already made by others. You hear me? That's the only thing I can tell you now. Don't ever try to make the mistake already made by Braye and the others. You hear me?
What you they do here? I don't understand, bros. Me, I don't feel get out.
IKENNA.
There is one thing I want to make you understand. You're the only thing your mother has, and there's no way she's going to do anything to mislead you.
I'm not saying she's misleading me. All I'm asking her is to help me use her position to give him a befitting job. The young man is a militant because he has nothing else to do. If she gives him a good job, she gives him a future, and then he stops being a militant.
Should I tell you the truth?
Yes.
Your mother doesn't want you to marry him. And that's because she doesn't want you to end up with a militant.
Don't you think that's quite absurd? Like ridiculous? I mean, I don't ever remember mentioning that we were getting married. Felicia, all I'm trying to do is to assist him secure a future. That's all. I mean,
don't tell me he's the one calling.
Hello.
Hi Aisha, I'm sorry I didn't pick the call when you called earlier.
May I know why?
Well, let's say I was surrounded by some people who are a little nosy. They want to know everything that I do. And that's why I decided not to pick it.
Tekena, can I see you tomorrow?
No, I don't think that's possible. You know, there is no way I can come to the capital tomorrow.
I'm not asking you to come to the capital city. I'm actually going to fly down to Ahaba. I'll be in the same hotel I was in when you came and played the first one on me. So, can I see you?
No. Listen, Aisha, why would I want to meet up with you? I mean, I'm having so many problems already. My colleagues are monitoring me. They want to know what I'm doing. Listen. No, I mean, I can't.
Tekena, I repeat that your future is more important than your colleagues. Promise me I'll see you tomorrow and everybody can sleep in peace.
Okay, I promise.
Thank you. See you tomorrow then. Bye.
There is no way you are traveling to Ahaba tomorrow. No way.
Else you do what?
If you leave this town tomorrow, then I will be forced to tell your mother about the call.
My dear friend, all I am trying to do is to secure a future for this young man. Assist him secure a good future. And if you can't control your highly unguarded tongue, and my mother gets to hear about it, you will never be able to make up. You and I mean. I beg to be excused. I have a strong feeling that you're not comfortable with the venue.
No, I'm fine. I don't have a problem with the venue.
Then what is your problem? You seem rather different. I mean, you're different.
The truth is, we are not in the same class. We're two different people, two different categories. I don't even know what we're doing here. I don't know why I'm here. I don't even know what brought me here.
Please, Tekena, please. Don't remind me. Forget the fact that my mother is a serving minister. Why on earth would you ever think there were two different people who were like parallel lines or from two different backgrounds? We are from the same background. We are the same. Reasons because we are fighting for the truth. I want to help you. I want to be part of your struggle. I just want to help.
You can't be part of the struggle. You're not from my area. You might understand it, but you can't be part of it totally.
Go on. You should feel comfortable. Take your call.
Hello, bros.
Come, Tekena. I want you to leave whatever you're doing right now, eh? Go to my bedroom. Bring the last agreement we signed with the king. It's right there on my bed.
Yeah, bros, no verse. I'm in Ahaba right now.
You are in where? What are you doing in Ahaba? But you know we're supposed to have a meeting with the king today.
I know. I already told, I made all the arrangements. I told my brother. He will be there. I showed him where everything is. He'll be in that meeting. I'll be back in the evening.
What?
Oh my God.
Braye, the palace secretary just called.
Yeah, what did you tell him?
He called to remind us of the meeting with the king and to know if we are still coming.
That's the way you tell him.
That we are coming.
How dare you, my man? How you go to do that kind of thing? You know they ever listen to me, man. Now you be the boss for this place. Who you be, sir? Now me they talk everything, they do everything. Now what me talk? Now it must happen. Not be you.
Well, Braye, we've always prepared for this meeting. And it didn't occur to me that I needed any other confirmation to assert that we are coming.
You know what you go do now? Go carry that phone now. Call that person and tell her, say me what talk to her. You hear me so? Who you beat them? Well, move.
Vicker, I'm thinking you should quit this struggle and relocate, okay? Because you made first class in public administration. It's only natural that you should be in government.
What are you thinking about? Don't tell me nothing, because I know that you're thinking about something. So, what is it?
It's my brother. I mean, he spoke to me about basically almost the same thing you're saying. I mean, he said I should give up being a militant, use my certificate in getting some job of some sort. Same thing you're saying. I'm just confused, surprised.
My goodness, I am so glad. I mean, so glad to realize that your brother, whom you love so much, whom you're willing to lay down your life for, is so committed in your success. IKENNA, there is no future in being a militant. Nothing at all. You stand to gain nothing.
I told you there's no future in being a militant. What makes you think so?
I don't think.
There has to be a way forward.
There is no way. I don't think. I do know. You don't have a future. Being a militant is just like being a terrorist. Being a terrorist is just like being a thug. And there's no official paper that states that being a thug, being a terrorist, or being a militant is anything professional. There's nothing that states that. Please. I'm bothered about you because you saved my life. Because you are my friend. I ask you to think again. Come with me to the capital city. There's got to be some agency, some government organization, some company that'll be willing to offer you a job. My goodness, you have a first class. That isn't a joke. A first class. Please.
Mrs. Ryan, please listen to me. I don't want you to think that I don't want to listen to you. No. The truth of the matter is, I don't want to get involved. Elevated authorities such as Dr. Vicker has pleaded in vain on his behalf. Now, pardon me if I sound so immodest or harsh. Now, do you think you can make me do what Dr. Vicker couldn't make me?
I'm sorry, Your Excellency. Well, it's just that, you know, I was the one that gave the information that led to his arrest. And sir, you know Alhaji Gambo. He's a man of different faces. And I wouldn't want him to come after me, if you know what I mean.
Mrs. Ryan, I said during my inauguration that there will be no sacred cows. And I also said that I was going to step on toes. Now, those were not just political innuendos. I meant every bit of what I said. I want the courts to decide Alhaji Gambo's fate. Most importantly, Mrs. Ryan,
Now that you have been reinstated as the Minister for Information, I want you to please settle down to your office and have at the back of your mind always that you are under the protection of the Commander-in-Chief.
Thank you very much, sir.
Very good.
I asked you to come here because I want us to find out the bastard who killed Lionel. His death must be avenged.
Alaji, I have this feeling that we may be up to something.
Really? What?
I found out Mrs. Rahim's daughter is now obsessed with one of the militants that kidnapped her.
Now this is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Now I want you to find out the identity of this militant she's with. And through him we'll get to the bastard who killed Lionel. And who knows, might be able to help us eliminate Mrs. Rahim's daughter. So we kill two birds with one stone.
Consider it done.
Oh yes, you have my permission to spend any amount you find necessary to get the job done. Keep me posted.
What did you go to do in Ahaba?
I went to do something personal.
Come on, look, listen, my friend. You talk to me in specifics. Eh? Tekena, who did you go to see in Ahaba?
Bros, no verse. I did not say I went to see someone. I said to do something.
Tekena, look, in this struggle, you are like a brother to me. You're my brother. I keep having this negative impression that you will go the same way as Braye.
Well, it's a good thing it's just an impression. Because there's no way I'm going to go down the line as Braye did. That's impossible. I never liked him in the first place. Well, to prove my point, I went to the capital to meet with the minister's daughter.
Tekena, are you telling me that you are still seeing that girl?
Bros, too many things happen at the same time. I don't confuse. See, she's interested in my future. I just went there, we met, we discussed it. Just discussed it, that's all.
Don't ridicule my intelligence and position. Mrs. Alaki just said she saw my daughter board the midday flight to Ahaba. What did you go to Ahaba to do?
Mother, you speak to me as if I were a child.
Shut up! Shut up! What's come over you? I hope you did not go to Ahaba to meet that militant.
That young man gave me life when I was staring death in the face. I owe it to him, Mother, to help him find his own life.
You honestly don't realize the position your mother holds in this country. Why in heaven's name? Why would you want to go back to Ahaba, a place where you were kidnapped in the first place?
Because nobody's going to kidnap me again. Let's wake up to the reality that is known to the entire civilized world, Mother. These boys bear arms fighting for their right. They fight for justice. They fight for the people. Because the government have not deemed it necessary to give them a sense of belonging.
That idiot has finally bewitched you.
No, Mother. I have actually asked him to move down to the capital city. And I want you to help me find him a good job.
You are going back to Canada to stay with your father.
I'm going to have to disappoint you there, Mother. I came back to this country to stay. I am not going back to Canada.
IKENNA, there's something I want you to remember. If you move over to the federal capital, like your friend, the minister's daughter, wants you to do, what is going to happen to the rest of us in this struggle? Is she also making arrangements for all of us? Is she going to build schools for our children? Is she going to come here and construct our roads, put street lights on them? Is she going to build hospitals for our people, our old parents and children? Is she going to stop the government from polluting our land and our environment with their gas flaring? Is she going to use her influence to help us control our resources? IKENNA, do you want me to believe that you are in this struggle because of your own selfish satisfaction? Tell me as a brother.
No. Bros, when I took her from the bunk where she was and I let her go, the whole idea was to use her as a bait for your release. That's why I did it. And I didn't go calling her afterwards for whatever reason. She called me and threw all these offers at me.
Okay. You should have rejected all the offers immediately. You look at me, IKENNA, look at me. Look at my compound. Do I look like a poor man to you? I am using my hard-earned resources to sustain this struggle. And I'm doing it for the generality of our people.
Sincerely, I didn't look at it like that.
Listen, my brother. IKENNA. We are in this struggle for our people. This is a struggle for survival. We are fighting to liberate our people, a defenseless people, a humiliated people,
are people who have been deprived of every good thing in this life simply because they have oil in their land. That is what we are fighting for. And you believed in the struggle. That's why I say that you are my brother. What is going to happen to our children if you and I refuse to fight? If you and I refuse to fight, what will happen to our children unborn? Will our children continue to be slaves in their own country, while the resources in their land is taken to develop other parts of the country? That is why we fight, my brother. It's not for us. It's for our people. That is how I want you to think, my brother. We're in this together. We fight for our people. That's how I want you to think.
No need for this